I'm at home, it's 9:30 at night, and I've just had a really weird idea. Is it possible in the current car market to buy a car from Facebook Marketplace and make money? But I'm not just talking about making money anywhere. I want to beat the system and sell it to Webuyanycar. Yeah, that's right. I want to take it straight to Webuyanycar and make profit. So my search starts within 10 kilometres of Warrington, looking at cars for £500 or less. And straight away, this is looking easy. A 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer for £400? Yes please, let's have a look at that. Right, seized engine, not today. Next one. A 2005 Mini for 350 quid? Oh, no MOT, brilliant. This is looking harder than I thought. Then I found this. This 2006 Megane looks alright. Low mileage, 88,000 miles. MOT till January. Yeah, alright, it's had a ding, but it looks like it just needs a good wash and a hoover. Now this one looks good to me, but let's see what Webuyanycar has to say. I'm sure we've all done this a million times. Reg in, mileage in, fake details in, obviously. 740 quid. And for those of you who don't know, Webuyanycar is a platform that literally buys any car. Right, okay, let's make this a bit more accurate. No service history. One key. The MOT ran out in January. I need to do a car vertical to see if it's been written off, so I don't know that yet. Now obviously the passenger rear quarter's quite badly damaged, so let's add that as well. Now I don't quite feel like that's enough, so I'm going to add a bit more damage to that quarter. I saw that the sunroof switches look broke as well, so I'm going to add that. £655, that's what she's asking for on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to offer her 500 quid and see how we get on. After a bit of back and forth, she's accepted 500 quid. I'm going to go down and have a look at it tomorrow. It all seems way too easy. I think I should do a car vertical check. Now getting a car vertical report is dead easy. You just need a reg, pop it in, wait for the report to generate. This checks thousands of different databases all across the world, and here's your report. Now great news for us, this is looking clean. It's not been stolen, there's no mileage discrepancies, there's no finance, and it's never been damaged. This could work out brilliant for my little idea. This has had quite a few failed MOTs though, and that last one, that is some list. More to the point, it looks like the MOT's due in November, not in January. Could be much worse though. I could be looking at this Megane. Everything looks alright until you see the damage. Check these pictures out. Bit of near side damage, headlight, wing, bumper, and it doesn't look like much has happened to it since then. It looks like in 2020 somebody gave up trying to repair it, then tried to sell it. It doesn't matter if you're trying to buy a car, sell a car, or get the history of a car you already own. Make sure you check out the link in the description box below and use code EVILGT for your money off. Now last night I had a bit of a random idea, and that was, can I buy a car off Facebook Marketplace and make money at Webuyanycar? So you join me in Ash's Z4M with him driving, repping the Evil GT merch, evilgt.com, go and get yours. We're on our way to go and have a look at a car that I found on Facebook Marketplace. And there it is, being cleaned out by the owner. Now unfortunately in that instance, I've walked away because, well, even for £500, there's no way that there's any potential profit in that. It needed 2 front tyres, one of them was down to the cords, the other one was very, very worn on the inner edge. But I have got a plan B. And that plan B is a completely different car, but since driving from that Megane back to the unit, the girl's been in touch. And I said, listen, I'm not massively keen on trying to negotiate and haggle with people face to face. I know I used to be a car salesman, but people were coming to me rather than me going to them. So I didn't really want to do it. But in actual fact, if you do still want to sell your car, I'll give you 400 quid for it. No pressure. If you don't get any offers anywhere else, it's there. And well, that might give you an idea as to what she said. So I am now the proud owner of an absolutely knackered 2006 88,000 mile Renault Megane. Now at 400 quid, that gives me a bit more wiggle room with Webuyanycar, because in order to even make that car legal to drive to Webuyanycar, it needs a couple of quid spending on it. Now the damage to the bodywork, I'm not worried about because I've already put that into the Webuyanycar website. Before we take it, I do think that this interior could do with a bit of a clean, and the same for the back. So if I'm going to get anywhere close to the price that Webuyanycar have said on their website, I need a hoover and a bucket and sponge. And I'm going to see about getting 2 cheap part ones for the front of it too. First things first, this definitely needs new tyres. I'm on a hunt for 2 cheap part 1s and 2 cheap indicators. And just in case you didn't know, our absolutely mega Cupra K1 is up for raffle. Levelupgiveaways.co.uk. Competition ends on the 24th of October at 10 PM. Tickets are only 99p, so if you can afford it, get yourself a few. Good luck. Both wheels loaded up, let's see what we can find. think it was with my dad about 25 years ago last time I went to a scrapyard. You forget you need to take your own tools with you. Winner, winner. A tenner later, we've got some indicators. Off to see the lads at Roundabout Tyres next. Part 1 sorted, back to the unit to get these bits fitted. It's currently 4:45, Webuyanycar closes at 7. I've got to wash the car, hoover the car, new wheels and the replacement indicators. I think it'll do me a favour it being dark by the time I get there, to be honest. Wheels and tyres are on. Let's have a stab at my electrical certificate. Now they're done, outside for a good scrub. A quick shout out for a good mate of mine, Liam at Lit Electrical. He supplied the LED lights in the unit. It looks miles better in here, much brighter. So thanks mate, I'll put the link in the description. He does public and trade, so there's a shout out for Liam. Get it outside for a quick Evil GT hand wash. I definitely wasn't using the 16 bucket method on this car. Onto the interior next, and this was grim. There was dog hairs everywhere, everything was sticky, had fingerprints on it, there was smudges all up the windows, not the nicest. It's dark out, but the Renault, the Megane, the Baguette, is looking a million times better than it was before. There we go, with the help of Wax and Away's products and a bit of hard work, sweat, grit and determination, she's looking a million times better. The interior is looking a million times better. It definitely doesn't smell any better though. The dog smell in there is awful, but anyway, I love dogs. I just don't have one because of that exact reason. I couldn't handle everything smelling of dogs all the time. Anyway, I digress massively. I'm going to be late for Webuyanycar. They close at 7. It's currently 6:30. I don't know if you can see that on my watch. So I think I'm going to have to go in the morning. They said don't bother making an appointment, just turn up. So the morning it is. It's the following day and I'm on my way in the Megane to Webuyanycar, and it's the first time I've actually driven this car properly. But I've got to say, this absolutely stinks of dogs so bad. But that is the least of its worries because I've got an engine management light and a spanner on. Now this car owes me 490 quid. That's £80 for the 2 Part 1s and a tenner for them indicators. So let's see how much of that we can hold on to. We have arrived. Wish me luck. So David's going to have a quick look around the Megane. He's going to grade the damage and grade the condition of it. He's just double checking the mileage now. Didn't do a very good job of cleaning them wheels. So I do know that the service is due and I do know that there's an engine management light. So that was a little bit tricky whilst I was over there with the car. You can see it's just over there. David was explaining to me that because the engine management light's on, it has kicked the value massively, which I was kind of expecting, let's be honest. It's come down from about 550 quid for a grade 5 with some service history and 1 key. This is from £740 by the way. It's come down to 230 quid. But if I can get that engine management light on, it will add about £280 back. So I'll be making over 500 quid, which means a £50 profit, but it's better than a 230 odd quid loss, right? This is Evil GT. It was never going to be straightforward, was it? I am hoping this goes well. Probably the simplest OBD reader I've ever used in my life. My little tool has got the engine management light off. The spanner's still on because it needs a service, but the engine management is off. Let's go and have a chat. After turning the engine on and off a few times and giving it a bit of a rev, David was satisfied the engine light wasn't coming back on and started a new report. So David's just putting the rest of the details in. Hopefully we can get the paperwork sorted and be on my way. You guys at home might know, but a bit of a tip. If ever you've got a service book with the service stamps in and you see that any of them haven't got a date on or a mileage on, make sure you contact the garage that did it and get a date and a mileage on them stamps, because even if they've stamped them, they don't have a date or a mileage, Webuyanycar can't accept them. So what's happened here is the engine management light has gone off. The damage then on the car, which has stayed at grade 5, went from 200 and something quid to 400 odd pound. So even though it took the engine management light off and the amount of money that was costing, it's then upped the grade 5 to compensate for that. So the actual price of this car is exactly the same, it's 230 quid. which is absolutely scandalous. Originally, before the engine management light was on, it was costing me an extra £230, I think it was, and now it's just gone up to compensate, so we're at the exact same price. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I'm shocked. Do you know, I tried to defend Webuyanycar in that I genuinely thought that it was a decent service, and I'm sure it is for a lot of people. I'm sure Webuyanycar is a decent service for a lot of people, but to try and be as honest as you can on the valuation tool online, to then come and it's way less based on the damage alone, never mind the engine management light, to then get the engine management light fixed, thinking you're better off for it to then add what it was deducting to the fact it's a grade 5, so you're no better off. That can't be right, surely. And the funny thing is, I know there'll be disclaimers all over the website saying, you know, this is just a guide, the valuation tool, you put the damage in, it's literally just a guide, but it's miles off, it's not even accurate. Like, I was trying to overcompensate by putting in that the rear quarter was damaged twice, because I know it's not great, I know it's bad. I was a sales exec at Warrington Audi, so I know all about grading part exchanges and putting details to damage in, and I certainly know all about when stuff gets sent to the auction and it's not been graded correctly. You get a bollocking, and quite rightly, because it's, you know, it's money from the business. If you've said it's okay but it's actually quite tatty and it goes through the block, and you know, it makes a lot less than what you've given for it based on you saying it's all right. I get it, I understand that completely. So I think that concludes the video at Webuyanycar. I'm very sorry to the lad in here. It's definitely not his fault, but obviously he's representing Webuyanycar, so what do I do? Anybody want a McGann for 500 quid? Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel to see the saga continue.